What's up, Easter bunnies? How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday morning. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, Easter's on his way. So, today, it's your old pal, Uncle Hammy. Some of you don't even know me as Uncle Hammy. Some of you just know me as Hammy. That's cool. I don't care. You can call me whatever you want. What's my watch saying? See, maybe I shouldn't wear my Apple Watch when I'm doing this. It can be disturbing. I still don't know how to do any of this shit. So today, we are going to do some different things. I don't know. I just want to have some fun today. We're going to do some lighthearted shit. We're going to do some serious stuff. I got a little true crime stuff mixed in there. We're going to watch a Mr. Ballin video and do some reacts. I have someone... Well, happy Easter weekend to you. Eat a bag of deeks. I love that name. We are, last time I watched some Mr. Ballin content and I talked kind of over it because, you know, look at this. I'm going to bring this in right here. It says Forever Hammy. I'm feeling that. Watch this. I'm going to star it. And then I think I know how to add to broadcast. Watch this. What? You're fucking famous now. Eat a bag of deeks. You're famous now. So, and rightfully so, you should be famous. What the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah. See, I get sidetracked by the ladies. Story of my life. The last time I did some Mr. Ballin content, I had haters. Like one in particular. And I hope she's going to be out there watching because I love my haters. I'll be honest. I don't hate my haters. I love my haters. They show passion and I appreciate and love passion. So, if you're out there, I don't remember your name and you want to hate on me, I think that's good. That's okay. You can hate on me. I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to love you. You'll notice this headband I've been wearing and that I'm wearing right now. You know why I'm wearing that? Because I'm growing my hair out. I've told you guys. I'm growing my hair out and I'm growing my beard out. And I'm not cutting it. I'm not trimming it. I'm not doing anything. I have been shaving under the neck a little bit because it drives me nuts. But I'm going to see how fucking crazy it gets, right? I've told you this. So right now, it's at an untenable stage. You know that stage where, so it's just all over the place. It's not laying flat yet. But I've never had long hair before. I don't know if my hair is going to lay flat. We'll see. But so right now you're going to see me in headbands a lot and hats because it's quite unseemly. Although when I do have my hair out, I keep getting told that I have beautiful hair, especially for my age. You guys like my coffee mug? Yeah, that's right. The headband gang is alive. That's right. That's right. Eat a bag of dicks. I'm waiting for you to get your podcast. You got a lot to say. I know I see you on Instagram and TikTok, and I super enjoy your content. You're funny as fuck. I can tell you that right now. Okay, so, let's talk about the growth of the page. A little house cleaning. We'll try and do that every week, right? So we are at, I don't remember where we are at last week, but we're at 181 subs. That's pretty good. I'm feeling stoked about that. 181 subs for my old ass and shit content. I mean, I know I got shit content. I'm just out here running my mouth, right? But and it's, you know, I'm doing like all the production, all the editing. I'm having to learn to do all this myself as I go along. I don't really. Is my voice and video lagging? I can't tell. Might be. Anybody tell me? I know you're down for the whole journey. I love that. Is my voice? Can anybody? If you're watching, is my voice syncing with the video? Looks to me like it's not for some reason. Well, hopefully it is. Can I show you guys something? I'm gonna anyways, whether you give me permission or not. I don't need consent to show you anything here. But I'd like to show you. Oh, great. Thank you. Look at this fucking box of donuts that just showed up. This box of donuts showed up 5 minutes before I went live. 5 minutes before I went live. Now, my wife, she has this secret donut spot. Okay, it's not really a secret, but I tell her to keep it a secret from me. Okay, because if I know the fucking name of it, right? Like I can get donuts anywhere. Okay, but can you look to see they have these special donuts? Like you see the one with the peeps on it, like that's a special Easter one, and they have see if you look over in the corner, that one has like bits of Oreo on it. The fucking Oreo one will blow your mind. All right. So I tell her they're all amazing. They're like gourmet donuts, and she has them delivered like every week or every other week or so, right? But I tell her like it's her special thing to get in order and have delivered to the house, because if she tells me where it is, I'll fucking go there on my own and get them. Like I'm a fat bastard. Like I have to. She has to actively not tell me the location of the place. I know I could find it, right? Like if you know anything about me, if I want something, it's gonna fucking happen. Trust that. But like I don't want to make it too easy. And the last thing I need to do is go into some kind of crazy sugar fit one day when I'm at work and just leave the office and drive to wherever this mysterious donut place is and get 3 of those Oreo ones and just shove them in my face, shame eat in the car. I'm not looking to try and do that. So she doesn't tell me. I never buy them. It's her thing. I'm usually the one that buys the food, and I do a fair amount of the cooking. She cooks, but I cook more. She doesn't enjoy cooking as much as I do. I'm the one that usually orders the DoorDash or the Grubhub or whatever it is. But this is like her little corner of the world, man. And she has to keep it away from me. So anyways, these fucking donuts are off the chain. So what I thought we were going to do today, when I wanted to play kind of some lighthearted stuff first, I'm going to jump over to, you guys bear with me. I didn't set up the docket real good. So I'm going to go type this in. New movies this week. New movies. Oh, come on, you piece of shit. New movies. I was hoping, movies. Man, all right. Popular movies. So I'm going to turn off this one monitor, guys. So, popular movies, top picks for you. I'm going to share this with you in a minute, I promise. All right, so movies in theaters. Do I want to do Rotten Tomatoes or do I want to do Google? So, are these movies in theaters April? So, I thought maybe we would do some. Maybe we do it through Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know. I'm going to switch screens here. I wanted to do some movie reactions, right? Okay, so there's all these movies out, and I've seen none of them, right? Let's see what we got. Fist of the Condor, One Day as a Lion, Super Mario Brothers, Air. So all these movies either out or I don't know what the fuck they are, okay? But what I thought we'd do is watch the trailers and I'd do some reacts. Huh? What do you think? So just blind reacts to whatever movie trailer there is, and I'll give you my take on whether it's going to be good or bad based on what I like. How's that sound? All right. Let's start with this one here. What's this called? Flight of the Condor. What is it? All right, I'm doing this wrong already. So it's got a Rotten Tomatoes score of Fist of the Condor, 90% audience score. That's pretty dope. Fist of the Condor photos. How do I get to the trailer? Don't they usually have the trailers up? Oh man, I'm already failing you guys, right? It's in theaters, streaming movies, TV shows. I want to see. How do I get to the trailer? I have to do better than this for you guys. This is why my content is shit. This is why my content is shit. Okay. Bear with me. Oh, it doesn't have a trailer. That's why. So let's go over here. Let's see if we can find one. Let's see if we can find, okay, fist. Oh man, you gotta be careful typing fist. Of the condor. Be careful typing fist into a browser. I'm just telling you that right now. Okay, first off, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm just gonna let you know. Please look at what the public rates. They have the better judgment. Okay, I'm gonna do that. All right, so Fist of the Condor is the teaser trailer. It's Marco Zarro. I don't know who that is.
그는 완벽한 무술. 성과 악을 무시할 한마디로 그는 짐승.
All right, we already have some kind of like European monk that, and he's super sexy and buff as fuck. By the way, if you ever meet a monk in real life, none of them look like this. I know a fair amount of them. None of them look like this. Okay. Dude, it's giving me, you know, on TikTok, the guy with the axe that breaks the logs that everybody loves, right? He's giving me those vibes. Except he's bald. Oh. It feels no guilt. That might be me.
Disculpe, maestro. ¿Qué le hizo usted a su hermano? Él merece su venganza.
Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you. Look, I got one of those donuts. I got the apple fritter. See, I'm going to eat that while I'm watching this. You're going to hear me eat. I don't care. This is why I'm never going to be like this Mark Zarro guy, because I have a feeling he's not sitting somewhere on his fat ass watching YouTube, talking to people eating an apple fritter. He probably isn't, but I am.
Y yo merezco su castigo. Y a su vez, yo merezco mi venganza. Y él merece mi castigo.
All right.
Eran verdad todos los mitos sobre ti.
Pretty good action scenes.
Todo era verdad.
But I'll tell you, I'm already bored of the trailer. Why am I bored of the trailer already? I have a feeling it's not going to be that great. I'm going to give it, but I'll probably watch it because I'm shitty like that. So I'm going to give it 6 out of 10 apple fritters. All right. So our next one, let's see. What is the Day of the Lion? Let's see what this is. It's got this guy in it. I forget his name, but I like him. He's fucking great. I don't know who this dude is. Does it tell us what the movie's about? All right. Movie info. Jackie Powers, Scott Kane, is a nice guy, but a lousy hitman. And when he's sent to take out a crafty debtor, J.K. Simmons, Jackie only pisses him off. Fleeing the scene, Jackie takes bored waitress Lola, that's got to be the love interest, as a hostage. When Jackie reveals he needs money to get his son out of jail, Lola cooks up a scheme for them to get cash from her dying mother, Virginia Madsen. All right. Meanwhile, a thug sent to kill him is sleeping with Jackie's ex. That's where the fucking tea is. Okay. Also starring Frank Grillo, this crime comedy is a witty homage to Tarantino and the Coen brothers. All right, you could have put that at the beginning, the Tarantino and the Coen thing, because I honestly, if I wasn't doing this, if I was just looking at movies and I wasn't doing this for content, I probably wouldn't have read all that because I'm lazy as fuck. So let's see what this trailer's like. Oh, Taco Bell. Right? What's up, Taco Bell? Sponsor my ass.
just went inside the place.
Problem solved. Do what you gotta do and call me when it's done.
Look, I don't want to hurt you. If you could just pay Paulie the money that you owe him.
Coffee?
He's not staying.
Yes, sir.
Hey, is that guy dead?
Looks pretty dead.
Is it done?
I think I killed the cook.
This is why I don't stand up for you.
This? Not good, Don. Tomorrow, first thing, I want you to go and see that degenerate cowboy and straighten this out.
Yeah, I only agreed to kill that guy Walter because my kid's in jail. I need the money to get him away.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm already telling you. It's keeping my interest. That's why I wasn't talking. I was paying attention. And I think it's because I like most of the actors in this thing so far.
Jungle.
We're in this together now.
You owe Paulie Russo $100,000. You got a week to come up with the bread.
I got a lot of friends, law and otherwise. You boys are gonna forgive my debt.
You really want to take this road with me?
You are welcome to find out, my friend.
My son's detention hearing is in 3 days. I don't even have the lawyer yet.
Who talks? Money talks.
All right, I'm out.
Maybe we can help each other.
I'm out. That's it, I'm out. I want to like it, but I'm already losing it on it. How the fuck do I get out of this thing? All right, so we're going to give it 6 out of 10 apple fritters. 6 out of 10 apple fritters. A little bit better than the last one. All right. Now, next one we're going to go to is Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers movie. I got to tell you, I don't know much about this stuff. I really don't. But it's got to be some kind of big deal because, I mean, it's Nintendo, right? It's licensed Nintendo content.
Behold, the McCrispy.
Wait, let's go back. Let's get the rundown on it. Let's see what. Okay, so we've got 56% tomato meter, but 96% score from the audience, which I don't know what that means. But here's the critics consensus. While it's nowhere near as thrilling as Turtle tipping your way to 128 lives, Super Mario Brothers movie is colorful, albeit thinly plotted, animated adventure that has about as many Nintendos as I don't even know what the fuck that means. I really don't even know what that means. With help from Princess Peach, Mario gets ready to square off against the all-powerful Bowser to stop his plans from conquering the world. Okay, so here's the deal. This is made for a certain segment of the population that, I don't know, likes this kind of stuff. I'm thinking, right? I don't fall into their demographic, but if it's a good movie, like I should be entertained whether I fall into their demographic or not, right? I mean, that's the sign. So let's see.
Not to brag, but I just switched to Verizon.
Wow.
I don't know how to get past those.
Choose the phone I wanted for free.
Not that you're
You
bragging.
gotta watch the commercials with me. I gotta watch them, you gotta watch them.
On us, like the incredible iPhone 14.
On the network.
Why did Verizon, you fuckers? All right.
Where am I?
Ooh, fresh meat for the grinder.
Pay him no heed. He is cute, but he is.
There's gotta be a way out of here.
There's no escape. The only hope is the sweet relief from death.
Whoa! Oh, you've got to be kidding me! My army! Koopas! Koopas!
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Caesar!
I think I remember those from those games.
Destroy the Mushroom Kingdom!
Are there Ninja Turtles in it?
Is coming.
I'm not afraid. I'll do
Wait,
anything for
how
you.
come Mario and Luigi don't have Italian accents? How come they don't have fucking Italian accents? Isn't that the whole point? I mean, look at him.
We're going to save him.
You asked for it. This is fun.
Here
Okay, I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna finish up my apple fur. So I understand this is made for kids, but it's got to be made for like 4-year-olds, I think. Am I wrong on that? And if it is, good. There's a lot going on there. Do they make whole movies for like 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds? Because like I don't see any redeeming value at all in that for a person like just to catch and there to be entertainment. Okay. We're gonna jump. Okay, we're not gonna review them all. Don't worry, because I have other shit I want to do today. But what's this one? How to blow up a pipeline, an explosive adaptation of Mom's Treaty. How to Blow Up a Pipeline delivers a high-stakes eco-thriller ignited by riveting and complex antiheroes. Okay, that's consensus. Movie info. A crew of young environmentalist activists execute a daring mission to sabotage an oil pipeline in Daniel Goldberg's taut and timely thriller that is part high-stakes heist, part radical exploration of the climate crisis, based on the controversial book by Andreas Malm. So I'm going to tell you right now, because of the content, and I don't know, we'll find out with the audience score. By the way, did I give a rating to the Mario Brother one? That was 2 out of 10 apple fritters. But this one here, because of this content and where we are at with our nation and the climate of things, I have no doubt that it is probably an amazingly good movie, but people don't like it and want to give it 65%. Because that breaks down right there, 65%. If it was 100%, the movie was like 100%, like a perfect score. Like 35% of this country thinks climate change is a hoax, so they're gonna just give it a hate the movie. So you'd be down to 65% from 100. So anyways, let's see what this movie looks like. Babies.
Well, you know that with everyday low prices, you can spend a little less to get a little more.
All right.
To make life a little better.
That's what's up, Walmart.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Boom Talk. Today, teaching myself to make a homemade blasting cap.
Oh, you already got me.
It'll be step 1, making our own improvised explosive.
I'm already in. I'm just telling you that right now. You're making homemade explosives, and I can already tell you where this is going. I'm in.
What if y'all do structural damage?
Structural damage is kind of the point.
This is destruction of federal property. Terrorism.
American Empire calls us terrorists and we're doing something right.
Yeah, I'm already in.
If you're seeing this, let those who profit from mass death know their properties will be trashed.
3, 2, 1.
They will defame us and claim this was violence, vandalism, but this was justified. This was an act of self-defense.
All right. Here's the deal. I'm telling you right now. Let's find out. It says coming soon. No, shut up. This looks fascinating and good to me. And this is why it's got 65% audience score. Because it is exactly what I said earlier. People don't like that. People don't like that don't like that topic or don't believe in climate change won't see the movie for like what it is. They're going to go see the fucking Pikachu or whatever it is. That's fine. Got an alert on my thing telling me use echo. I didn't know I didn't have echo cancellation on. That's bad. Probably fucked you guys up. So what are these critics saying? These critics are saying, One of the most original American thrillers in years, one that draws from a deep well of movie history as it develops characters and sets it up. I want to see some negative ones. There's a negative one here. The film's pleasure also at times had its limitations. Adapting thriller from a manifesto proves challenging, and the film's effective tension is often sapped by dietetic dialogue, weighing down an otherwise churning pace. I fucking whatever, dude. Nerd. Thanks, nerd. Okay, so let's see how I'm doing in my chat. Well, I got pretty good chat. Eat Bag of Dicks was the chat beast for me so far today, and I appreciate her. Fucking funny ass. Funny ass. Okay, I have a couple more we're gonna do, and then we're gonna move on to another topic. I'm already getting bored with this shit. You're probably bored with it too, because let's see. Yeah, I'm not getting them. I don't have that many views. All right, Owen Wilson had something called Paint. I might come back to that. Let's see if I know I definitely want to do John Wick, but let's see if we can find something a little different to review. La Esperado musical. Oh, I didn't give a rating. Okay. Sorry. To the Pipeline movie. I think it's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. But it's probably the kind of movie I wouldn't go pay money to go see in the theaters, even though it looks great. Like it, I probably, because I got a pretty good setup at home. I got a big ass TV and all that shit that all of us have nowadays. You know, I sit here speaking on the ills of capitalism and talking about socialism and anti-capitalist all the time, but you know, I got all the luxuries of everybody else, so I'm a fucking hypocrite like everyone else. But I probably would want to watch that in my own home, so it's not going to get a perfect score, but I'm going to give it an 8.5 apple fritters. Okay, so I think we either need a good foreign film or, before we do John Wick, a good foreign film or possibly a horror movie. What do you guys think? What is, okay, Play Dead opened April 7th. It doesn't have any scores. What's this? What's meter? Let's take a look at this. Oh, but it doesn't have the preview for us, so that's not going to do us any good. His Only Son, Colonials. Is this? Okay, You're Killing Me. Oh, let's check this out. All right, You're Killing Me. It's got a deal. Okay, what is it? Oh, it's got the shit audience score. But that's all right. All right, movie info. You're Killing Me follows Eden Murphy, McKaylee Miller, who goes to a coveted heaven and hell party, hoping to get a letter of recommendation to an elite university from the wealthy parents of her classmates. But the party quickly turns into a fight for her life. So that sounds like some bullshit we should watch, right? Let's watch this trailer.
Whether curiosity is your guide or you're taking the turns as they come. At Hyundai, we're thinking of every mile. There's magic.
I kind of want to get that Hyundai Iconic 6, that electric car they have. I'm thinking real serious about buying it.
Your dad is on the board at Pembroke, right?
You want me to put in a good word for you,
I already hate all these people.
Someone else already asked you to do that?
Yeah, just you and every other scholarship kid at this school.
Well, what was that?
This is going to be one of those movies where you hate everybody in it. You might watch it, you might stick through it, but you're going to hate every single character in it for a myriad of reasons. I'm telling you that right now. I tend to watch movies like that.
We're just having
all right.
A little get together. Things got out of hand. It's all cool. Everything's cool.
I like that guy. What's his name? Dylan something or other.
I'd like to begin by apologizing to each of you for everything that my son did this evening.
I can't let them get away with this.
Sorry. I don't feel so good.
You didn't really think I would let you hurt my family, did you?
Okay, already. Anne Hesh is in it. There's some actors in this thing already. Like, it's looking kind of good, to be honest with you, right? It's got this shit ratings, but it's at least the trailer. Maybe the people that made the trailer did a really good job. Did you know that? That frequently, there's a whole separate company. I learned this the other day. I don't know. Maybe you know this. I don't know. There's a whole separate company that makes trailers separate. They hire them out from the production company that made the movie. There's people that just specialize in doing nothing but making movie trailers. And a lot of times they can take something and spin it and make it look total. That's why sometimes you'll see a trailer and it doesn't look or feel like anything like the movie, because they know they got a shit product. And so they do something with the trailer. They take the best scenes out of it, edit it up. That's marketing. We know that. Dermot Malone. Almost got it. All right.
School's gonna be real weird on Monday.
This has the vibes to me of like a little bit like the way it's shot in the house, like the first The Purge. Remember The Purge? It has that first The Purge feeling, but also what's that movie? I forget what it's called. It came out a couple of years ago where they hunt down that girl, that pretty white girl with the blonde hair, and she ends up getting over on all of them, but they hunt her down. She goes to like a rich party, and it turns out it's like a hunt people party, and she didn't know she was I think she was getting engaged in it. Anyways, I like that movie. Not enough to remember the fucking name, but this has that feel to it, and so it's probably a ripoff of the two. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna listen to any of the scores. I'm just gonna go by the trailer. Based on the trailer, 6.5 apple fritters out of 10. Okay, 6.5 apple fritters out of 10. All right, now I want to go to the last one we're gonna do before we get on to some other topics. Is I want to absolutely, positively John Wick Chapter 4. Now, you guys, I'm a big John Wick guy. I am a fucking fan. This is going to be shocking to you. I am a fan of when the old guy beats the shit out of the young guys, okay? I'll watch all those fucking movies. I'll watch them till I'm blue in the face. I love the John Wick movies. I know, first off, I love Keanu Reeves. I know he's not the greatest actor in the world. That's fine. I'm not looking for him for fucking Shakespeare. You know, I'm not looking for him to be in Hamlet. He's an action star, and I think he's a great action star. And the way they shoot this shit for him is phenomenal to me. The action scenes are amazing. The fact that all the car chases, the way it's like kung fu with guns, his dog, I'm a dog man. If you don't know that about me, I'm a dog man. So the fact that he's like really pissed about his car and his dog, I really love that. The whole Eastern Mafia thing, I'm a giant fan of John Wick. So I've been excited. In fact, I own the first 3, and I will buy this one no matter how good it is. I promise you I'm buying this movie. But I'm going to go see this fucker in the theaters, and I rarely do that because I don't like to go anywhere. So, but I will go see this one in the theaters and spend way too much and eat a fuck ton of popcorn. So John Wick Chapter 4 piles on more of everything. I'm for that. And suggests that when it comes to well-dressed Keanu Reeves dispatching his enemies in lethal ballistic style, there can never be too much. All right, that's the review. Let's get the info. John Wick, Keanu Reeves, uncovers a path to defeating the High Table. The fucking High Table. But before he can earn his freedom, Wick must face off against a new enemy with powerful alliances across the globe and forces that turn old friends into foes. Okay. Let's check it out. Ladies, gentlemen, they, thems, all my friends. Let's see what we got. I'm boned up for this one. Oh, we got more commercials. I'm getting tired of the commercials too. I just don't know how to do it without them. I mean, I guess I could have put them all on YouTube.
In a Kia Sportage X Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
We're going to get commercials. This is how I get promoted.
This hit.
goes out to you, Mr. Wick.
42 regular, wasn't it?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if you guys don't love the arc of Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves in another movie and roles like this, based on like everything we had from the Matrix, which I know Matrix is not even close to good compared to the John Wick series, but man, I love seeing that dynamic.
Yeah, not really.
That wasn't much of a trailer, guys. That's the shit trailer. We need a better trailer than that. Let's see what you got down here. So, the 10 best crown. What is this? John Wick 4 featured. No. That's a shit trailer. Let's go to YouTube and let's look John Wick 4 trailer. Well, that's what we want. We want a good one, not this shit. Okay, this is the official trailer. That's what we want. We want this one right here.
Saying goodbyes?
Saying hello.
You think your wife can hear you?
No.
And why bother?
Okay. I meant to mention this. When it comes to martial art movies, I am a huge Donnie Yen fan, right? All the Ip Man stuff and all the other movies that he made. Love this cat. He's fantastic action star. So the two of them together in one movie, boned up. I'm telling you that right now.
Maybe I'm wrong.
You're going to die.
Oh, man.
Maybe not.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend.
A new day is dawning.
Oh, man, he passed away.
New rules, new management.
We've known each other since we were 9 or 10.
Who is this?
The Marquis de Gramont.
Dude, can you think of another movie with such good fucking actors in it? Get out of here.
Challenge you to single combat. Win or lose, it's a way out.
I don't sit at the table.
Your family does.
Oh,
Please
man.
pray for me.
Swedgen.
I was the black sheep of the family.
That's the chick from
Man has to look his best when it's time to get married.
Game of Thrones.
Or buried.
I'm going to need a gun.
Goodbye, my friend. It's hard to die.
I kind of want to do it like that. In the desert, with horses,
If you
no
win,
fight, Eris.
the table will honor its word.
Good, that's his name.
You'll have your freedom.
It's hard to die.
Under the old laws, only one can survive. Failure to meet at sunrise
It's hard to die.
will result in...
Okay, look, I should be at that movie right now instead of doing this. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm doing this, and then I got dinner plans with my wife and a couple of friends. It's real important that we go at 6. My stepdaughter's here this weekend. Tomorrow's Easter. Like, all that's cool. I'm going to do all that. But honestly, I want to go by myself and watch this movie. I want to go by myself, right? Like, maybe Cass will come. She might. She's great to go to the movies with, but she's not as into the whole John Wick thing as I am. So I want to go by myself. I love going to the movies by myself. And I want to see this one super duper bad. What if I go real late tonight? That's an idea. Like after dinner, after everybody goes to bed.
Execution.
Last words, Winston?
Just have fun out there.
I want you to find your peace. But a good death only comes after a good life.
Good fights.
You and I left a good life behind a long time ago, my friend.
Are you kidding me? Okay. March 24th. It's been out. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. No question in my mind. 10 out of fucking 10 apple fritters for John Wick 4. I don't even have to see it to know. I don't even have to see it to know. I know for a fact it's 10 out of 10 apple fritters. I'm about it. Okay, that was, I think, kind of fun. I like doing that. We're going to do that a little more often, I think. I don't know if you like the content. I don't care. I'm here for me. I'm not here for you. So let's go on to some other topics. How long we been on? Been on for 42 minutes. That's pretty good. Let's go on to, and I got anybody watching? I got a couple people watching. I got somebody watching on Twitch. How you doing? Thanks for watching. Man, I can stream on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And I know Twitch isn't really like probably where I'm going to catch too much fire, but I figured if I'm doing the same stream, why not do both, you know, like spread it out a little bit. But that's because I'm using a piece of software called Ecamm. And Ecamm lets me stream to both. But I'm thinking, but I got to pay for it, right? And I might not be the best one. It might be better to go to OBS. If I go to OBS, then I can only stream to one service. And if that's the case, I'll stream to YouTube because I think because of my age, my demographic, I'll probably have a little more action on YouTube than I would on Twitch. So that's the main reason I haven't switched to OBS yet. But we'll see. If I get a couple of followers on Twitch, I'll keep it going. All right, we're gonna go to. I want to do a little bit of a take on some stuff that I haven't really talked. Two things that one thing I haven't talked about, and I watched this video. It's only 11 minutes long, but it's a take on inflation. Like, I know inflation is real, okay, but this skyrocketing price of things in comparison to profits, right? Profits that companies are making based on the skyrocketing price. So this is a study, a little video done. I think it's done pretty well. It talks about, remember everybody was all up in arms and worked up about the cost of eggs? Well, this is a video from, let's see if I can switch to it right now. I'm gonna switch my screens. There's a video done. It's done by the More Perfect Union, and it really just kind of breaks down the whole egg price thing. So, and the whole controversy over inflation, and really why things actually cost more. So, if you're into this kind of content, I am. Like, let's do it.
Eggs, a typically unremarkable grocery list staple for most Americans, became a point of financial stress and confusion over the course of a single year. Between January 2022 and January 2023, the average price consumers were paying for a carton of eggs shot up by 150%, hitting an all-time high of $4.82 a dozen.
Have another egg.
No. Egg companies sold their eggs to grocery.
Okay. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way so that you guys can see what's going on over here. I'm going to put this over here. Can I get this moved, please? No, not that. Bear with me now. I want to make sure you guys see the... All right. Check this out. I don't eat eggs. This didn't affect me. Okay? I'm going to start off by that. I don't eat animal flesh. I'm not vegan. I'm vegetarian. I eat dairy. I eat cheese, drink milk. I don't really drink milk. I don't like it, but I'll have milk and things. But I don't eat eggs. And I don't eat chicken, fish, steak, hamburger, pork of any kind. And I haven't for a very long time. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I don't give a fuck what you eat, okay? You eat whatever you eat. I'm going to eat whatever I eat. I'm never going to push vegetarianism on you. Like, you live your life, I'll live my life. That's it. Now, why do I not eat that stuff? They're for spiritual reasons. Yeah, this part of my faith. It's very personal. You ever want to know about it, hit me up. I'll tell you, but I'm not going to be one of those irritating people that forces shit down your throat. Okay. Now, the reason I'm telling you that is because we have a tendency in this country to only worry about things that affect us, right? It's only a problem if it affects me. Like, raising gas prices affected me. Raising egg prices and the price of food increasing really didn't affect me for two reasons. I don't buy the most expensive things that are out there. And if I'm honest about it, I make a really nice living and I can afford groceries even if they double in price. Now, I don't want to pay more, but I can afford it. All right. So then, but I'm not bragging about that. I'm still concerned about inflation. Why? Because I have compassion and I care about other people than myself. Okay. I care that even though I don't eat eggs, I care that if egg prices double or triple, that affects people, especially people in lower income brackets, because they can't afford it and they need it to survive. This is what compassion is. Okay. This is what actually why I know I sometimes talk about myself as a socialist, because it's more palatable when we say that compared to what my head really is like an anarcho-communist. But like, even though things don't affect me directly, I care about other people and I want the best for other people, just because I can have health care and I can have nicer things in my life because I'm lucky enough and skilled enough to have a job that pays me the money to be able to do that. Doesn't mean that I don't want those for other people that haven't found themselves to be in my very fortunate position, right? Like, I want you to have everyone to have access to good, healthy food. I want everyone to have access to affordable health care. I want everyone to have access to like free college and education and clean water, safe streets. That's what I want for people, right? Because it's the best for everybody. I want people to thrive and be happy. This is what it is to be compassionate, as opposed to, oh, how does it just affect me? Right? There's a huge fucking difference. So if you can be like-minded in that, I want you to watch this from that standpoint, right? Maybe not just how it affected me, but how does it affect people less, I guess, fortunate than me? I hate that term.
Stores at unparalleled prices, peaking from about $1.20 a dozen to $5.20 a dozen within 12 months. As a result, grocery stores were forced to hike up their egg prices to turn a profit. To make matters even more confusing, egg prices for retailers started to plummet at the start of 2023, dropping by at least $2.90 a dozen out of nowhere. To explain the dramatic swing in wholesale prices, big egg companies like Hammy Foods pointed their fingers at two factors: a rampant flu that plagued their chickens, and, you guessed it, inflation. These companies want consumers to believe that the ridiculous sticker prices we saw in 2022 and early 2023 were necessary to make up for sick hens and rising feed costs. But here's where the numbers don't add up. Dominant egg producers not only made up for lower supply and increased costs.
As you hear this, and what she's about to tell you is true facts. It's not like partisan bullshit. It's true facts. You can take the same thing that she's about to explain to you and go down the rabbit hole research, like real research, not I saw it on some fucking website. All right. I mean, actual go and see like the profits posted by the company that you're looking at, what their profit was, because they're all public companies and they have to post that stuff. What were the profits during this time, and how are they in relationship to where inflation was? That's the truth. That's the truth. The record profits between egg companies, the gasoline, the manufacturers like Mobil and, you know, all those companies, healthcare, as your prices go up, is the price of it going up in relationship to inflation. And what are the profit margins? Have the profit margins gone up? Because if you think about it, honestly, if it's say eggs were $1 a dozen and inflation went up 15%, that would be 15% would be 15 cents on a dollar's worth a dozen of eggs. Now, there could be other, so it should only go up by the same, all things should only go up by the same percentage. Costs about 15%. Now, let's say that isn't quite true and that my math is a little skewed and there's other factors that I'm not taking into consideration. Okay, let's double it. Let's say that it's the cost to manufacture affects the price triple inflation, triple the rate of inflation. So that's 45 cents. Now, I'm not saying that eggs should then cost $1.45, although they could, but the margin should reflect those numbers that I'm talking about. I think you get what I'm saying. Let's see what she says about it.
They profited off them big time. Just look at Cal-Maine Foods' gross profit margin. Gross profit margin measures how much money a company earned after accounting for production costs. Cal-Maine Foods more than quadrupled its gross profit margin after raising the price of its eggs. If Cal-Maine fairly raised prices to offset inflation and the avian flu, its gross profit margin would stay about the same. So, to figure out what's really going on with egg prices, we talked to one of the leading experts on food monopolies.
I'm Angela Huffman. I'm the president and co-founder of Farm Action. Farm Action is a farmer-led nonprofit taking on corporate consolidation in the food system. Contrary to the narrative of these industry leaders, these price increases are not due to an act of God. It's just plain profiteering.
So what's the true story behind those sky-high egg prices? And who's to blame? And what can we do to make sure this never happens again? I'm June, and this is More Perfect Union. Now let's get cracking.
You know what? Maybe I will have some eggs. Toast?
Since Cal-Maine Foods is the largest egg producer and distributor in the U.S., we're going to keep our focus there. Cal-Maine's CEO, Sherman Miller, recently celebrated his company's record sales and net income for the second quarter of fiscal 2023. The company made over $300 million in the second half of 2022, while the price of eggs was skyrocketing. Millions of Americans were paying record prices for eggs, while Cal-Maine got rich. So of course they needed a defense for raising prices. And this brings us to our first claim, the bird flu. In the company's December earnings report, Cal-Maine's CEO attributed the company's record average selling prices for conventional eggs to a reduced supply related to the outbreak in the U.S. of highly pathogenic avian influenza. It's true that last year, avian flu outbreaks resulted in the loss of 43 million egg-laying hens. But here's the catch. In the same breath, CEO Sherman Miller says there have been no positive tests for this bird flu at any of Cal-Maine Foods' owned or contracted production facilities as of December 28, 2022.
Okay, let's just look at that. What did they say? One of the they lied, right? It's weird that corporations lied. There have been no positive tests for this bird flu at any Cal-Maine Foods owned or contracted production facilities as of December 28th, 2022. Why did they say that? Now, we don't even know if that's true. But the reason they came out and said that, I'm going to tell you right now, is they knew people wouldn't fucking buy the eggs. So they're in a catch-22 with their lies. But we're so busy and we believe so much disinformation, we don't go back and see the contradiction in what they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. Absolutely Fucking phenomenal to me.
Not a single cow main hen died from bird flu. 0. Now, obviously, other egg producers were impacted by the bird flu. So one might reason that with supply down nationwide, grocery chains would understandably run to cow main to secure their egg stock for upcoming months, and would be willing to pay a pretty penny to do so. And Cal-Maine Foods, being the massive corporation that it is, one that controls 20% of the egg market, would of course welcome and encourage all of those pretty pennies happily.
They control 20% of the domestic egg market. 20%. That's fucking huge. That's a monopoly. You don't have to have it be more than 50% for something to be a monopoly. You just have to be the lion's share of the pie. And 20% of a market share in a country like the United States, and it might be internationally, I don't know, is humongous.
Now, that would all make sense if the highly pathogenic avian influenza did in fact reduce supply in the way CEOs like Sherman Miller describe. But once we looked into it, we realized that the numbers aren't as black and white as they appear.
The egg industry experienced no substantial decline in egg production in the last quarter of 2022 compared to 2021.
The number of egg-laying flocks on average only dropped 6 to 8% from the year prior, according to the USDA.
In addition to that, that number was even further blunted by record high lay rates, meaning the existing egg-laying hens laid even more eggs than the year before.
As it turns out, the hit to egg supply wasn't as dramatic as companies like Cal-Maine want you to believe. The bird flu outbreak for sure doesn't account for the 150.5% increase in the net average price for a dozen of Cal-Maine's conventional eggs from one year to the next. Now, back to that other excuse corporations love to deploy when justifying price hikes: inflation. Although we might disagree on the factors causing inflation, we can all agree that it's happening. Costs are up across the board,
Absolutely.
and the egg industry is not exempt.
Not denying
However,
inflation at all.
according to its own presentation to investors, Cal-Maine's total farm production and feed costs in 2022 were just 22% higher than they were in 2021. Remember, the price you paid for eggs went up 150% in this time, and Cal-Maine's profit margins quadrupled. So while a price increase is expected to keep up with rising production costs, no narrative that the egg industry pushed seems to explain why dominant egg producers more than quadrupled their wholesale prices.
There's just no other supply chain excuse that would justify these increase in egg prices. The fact that Cal-Maine is both raising its price.
Now, you guys, look, I could see, I'm not a fan of capitalism. You know that. But I could see it if we were talking about something that is more of a luxury item, okay? Let's say we're talking brand new cars or brand new televisions. You know, generally most people don't need that. Like, you could buy a used car. Your TV is probably pretty good. I was thinking about replacing the TV I have here in my room because it's not 4K, but it's actually a really good TV. It's high def, but it's not 4K. I have fucking TVs in other parts of the house that are just amazing televisions. I don't know why I kind of wanted to have a 4K TV in my room. I still might get one because I'm impulsive and I do that just like everybody else. But, you know, that's like a luxury item. It's not a need. Food is a fucking need, right? So people need food to live. They need protein. They need carbohydrates. We need fruits and vegetables and clean water. Like, so to prey upon the basic human needs of our citizens with these skyrocketing profit margins that are the term I'm looking for is they're imaginary, right? They're made up. Like the fact that they do this to me is absolutely criminal, in my opinion. It's fucking criminal. But, you know, we let them do it because, you know, we believe in the old free market system. It ain't fucking free market system. Right? It's rigged. You're learning right now. It's fucking rigged.
And grossly increasing its profit margins at the same time without any reasonable business justification for that suggests that it's foul play.
If a bird flu epidemic and inflation can't fully explain why egg prices soared over the last year, then what can? One clue is in the suspicious lack of price competition within the egg industry at large. Back in August, the USDA expected companies to start purchasing more chicks and increasing production while feed costs were moderating and egg prices were soaring.
So, in a competitive and normally functioning market, we would expect that one of these companies would lower their prices so that they could swoop in and take that market share.
You'd expect competition to start driving prices down, but for some strange reason, production didn't increase. Prices kept rising.
There seems to be a collusive scheme among these industry leaders to turn inflationary conditions and an avian flu into an excuse to gouge consumers and raise prices.
Of course there is. That's what capitalists do. They look for, I mean, that's the definition of being a capitalist. You're looking for any and all absolute options and opportunities to increase your profit margins, right? And if you happen to be in a business that sells like basic needs for people, it's no different, right? So it actually works in your favor. You know people are going to buy eggs. You know people are going to buy gas. People have to get to work. People have to fucking eat. They have to. So they raise prices. They know you're going to pay it. You're going to have less money to go see the fucking John Wick movie. Facts.
Why produce more if you can make more money producing less?
You might be thinking, didn't you say that these big egg companies recently dropped their wholesale prices pretty significantly after all? So maybe there really was something exceptional going on behind the scenes that required some once-in-a-lifetime price increases? To be completely honest, we're also confused by the latest numbers. Angela, have you seen the drop in wholesale egg prices?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right? Although prices are still a lot higher than they were last year.
But where did that drop come from and why now?
Well, we're not seeing any major changes in the market that would explain these lower prices, just like there wasn't a substantial...
I can explain it. Those higher prices and everybody complaining about it was untenable. They got in for the big hit and it stayed as long as they could. But when they lowered their prices again, but they didn't bring them back to the pre-inflationary numbers. They brought them down low enough to where you don't think about it and you don't talk about it anymore. In fact, you got these fucking liberals running around social media saying, see, egg prices are low again. See, gas prices are low again. Thanks, Joe Biden. But in reality, they artificially spiked them up, kept them high, just as long as they could, and then the prices come back down, but not to their old levels. And they've increased their profit margin, and now they're able to maintain for the long haul what is new baseline profit margin, which is going to be much higher, which are much higher prices for you. But I will promise you that as those margins and that price of eggs stays up here, they will do things down here, because this is what manufacturing does. They will do things down here that make themselves more efficient, all the while increasing the profit margin. Promise.
To justify the massive price increases that we talked about before. There isn't a sudden increase in egg supply to bring down the prices or anything like that to easily explain this.
So these companies drop their wholesale prices randomly?
Well, the USDA says that consumer demand for eggs is down a little bit due to resistance to the record high prices in grocery stores. In a recent report, the USDA actually pointed to the negative media attention on the issue of egg prices as a factor for why consumers are holding back.
Right.
It wouldn't be the first time that a corporation quickly lowered its prices after being called out for price gouging in the news. Anything to divert attention elsewhere, especially with Easter coming up.
Yeah, I forgot about Easter.
Well, the egg companies haven't. They're desperate to win back consumers in time for the holiday.
Just so they can increase prices again?
Well, an increase in prices is the normal response to Easter every year. That's to be expected. But we're keeping an eye on it because it shouldn't be used as an opportunity to price gouge. There seems to be a new normal price for eggs, and the reason for that isn't the flu or inflation or even a holiday, it's corporate greed. And what Caldane Foods and the other large egg companies did last year is extort billions of dollars from the pockets of American consumers by placing a
Made up.
tax on an essential good that everybody needs, plain and simple.
Is there anything that can be done to stop this from happening over and over again?
There is.
Yes.
We need to hold these companies accountable.
No.
We at Farm Action wrote a letter to the FTC calling on them to investigate these companies. They can prosecute any violations of our antitrust laws that they would find, and ultimately, they should get the American people their money back by seeking financial restitution for these abuses. Senator Jack Reed sent a letter to the FTC urging investigation.
This is all the garbage that they always talk about doing. None of that shit's going to happen. Even if it does, it stays in the fucking Congress and in legislation. And they talk about legislation and it's the same old bullshit. And all those fucking senators and Jack Reed, all of them, I promise you, maybe not Jack Reed, I don't fucking know. I'm speaking out of my ass a little bit. But they all receive fucking kickback. There's lobbyists. There's fucking farm lobbyists. There's Cal-Maine has lobbyists. They pay the fucking politicians. Nothing's going to get done. As long as these capitalists and these corporations own the means of production, right? You don't own the means of production. As long as these people own the means of production, they are going to continue to do this. They've always done this. They always will do this. This is what they do. This is the game. This is the 20, 30, 40-year plan. At some point, you'll be paying $10 for a fucking dozen eggs. Promise.
And then Senator Elizabeth Warren and Representative Katie Porter also sent letters to the top 5 egg producers in the U.S. asking for answers. Believe me, this isn't over until somebody investigates.
So there you have it. Not the most satisfying of stories yet. There's work to be done. Now, it's on the Federal Trade Commission to work in coordination with the Department of Justice and the USDA to crack down on corporations that use their monopoly power to price gouge the American people.
They won't do
On
shit.
behalf of all Americans writing their grocery lists and planning their Easters, it's time for some answers.
More Perfect Union, and lady, I don't know your name. Thank you for the very informative and wonderful video on all this. I really appreciate it, but at the end of the day, they're not going to do shit differently. They never fucking do, right? You're going to pay $10 for a dozen eggs. You're going to pay $10 for a gallon of gas. Why? Because that's what they want. That's what they want. Okay, guys, we're going to do one more thing. I think it'll be fun to do. Let's see, one more thing. I want to do a little Mr. Ballin true crime react with you guys. What do you think? Well, let's see what's up with it. I like his videos, and I just want to sit back and drink some coffee and enjoy it with you like we're watching it together.
In our lives, all of
you will hear my mouth in the middle of it. And to that one hater, I'm not sorry. I'm going to talk over it. Just like if you were sitting at my house and we were watching this video together, I'm probably going to run my mouth because it's my house. This right here is my house. And I'm enjoying his content as a fan, just like you. And I'm going to run my mouth. If you don't like that, don't come to my house, and I won't come to yours. Okay? All right, I love you.
Have to make really difficult decisions from time to time. Sometimes we make the right call, and other times we don't. Today's story is about someone who did the latter, but really the story is about what this person did to try to fix their bad decision. Simply put, this story takes a totally unexpected turn, and unless you've heard it before, there's no way you're gonna see it coming. But before we get into that story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place because that's all we do, and we upload once a week. So, if that's of interest to you, please move all of the strike plates in the like button's door frames slightly lower so that anytime they try to close the door, they won't latch. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads.
Subscribe to him.
Okay, let's get
and
into
subscribe to
today's
me.
story.
I would like some likes also. I ain't lying. But do Mr. Ballin too, because he's got great content. His content's better than mine. But subscribe to me. Let's see, we'll put this over here out of the way.
On a cold day in January of 2017, a 26-year-old man named William Hargrove paced anxiously back and forth inside of his tiny bedroom. Will was nervous because he was about to take the biggest chance of his life. He was about to ask a woman, who he had only known for a few weeks, if she would marry him. Will looked around his bedroom and he saw there was dirty clothes coming out of his hamper and there was fast food trash all over the ground, and so he knew this was not the ideal location to ask someone to marry him, but he also knew he was running out of time. The woman he wanted to propose to, who was sitting right behind him on his bed, was about to head back to Russia where she lived in just a few hours. And so Will finally stopped pacing, he turned to face this woman on the bed, who was just sitting there silently, and Will was about to say something, but then he chickened out and just kept on pacing. To that point, Will's life had been pretty boring and lonely. He worked a low-paying job as a mechanic.
What a little kitty. I'm a big fan of a big tough guy with a kitty. I'll start right now. Look, he looks like a nice guy.
And he lived in this bedroom. This was his apartment, this one room, which was being rented to him by a married couple who owned the house it was in. And this house was in a small city in the U.S. state of Oregon. Will didn't really have any friends, and he didn't really have any meaningful hobbies. All he really had was his intense love of science fiction and fantasy. He would lose himself for hours watching movies about outer space and strange, distant alien planets and magic. And then often, after he would watch these movies, he would walk into the forest near his house, and he would just kind of wander around daydreaming about these movies, and he would pretend he was the hero from these movies. And suddenly in his mind, Will would become a sorcerer with great powers, or a brilliant scientist who went back in time to save the world. But as much...
Okay, so far Will is that weird friend you have. We all have him. That one, he's the quiet kid. You know what I'm saying? He's the quiet kid. So that's the quiet kid. All right.
Will loved daydreaming and fantasizing. What he really wanted was a wife and kids.
Sure.
And so recently, he had joined an international dating website, and it was through that website that he connected with 26-year-old Anna Repkina from Russia, who was the woman sitting on the bed behind him. And now, if Will could just muster the courage to pop the question to her, he was confident she would say yes, and he could finally start his real life with Anna. Anna, who had blonde hair and striking blue eyes, was a bit of a dreamer like Will. For example, she fundamentally believed that there was a soulmate somewhere in the world for everyone. However, to that point in her life, she had not found her soulmate. Instead, she had been through one bad breakup after another. But a few weeks earlier, when a short, stocky, bald guy with a bushy goatee, Will, had reached out to her on an international dating website and invited her to America to visit him, she believed it was fate that they were being brought together, and so Will had to be her soulmate. Will finally stopped pacing and turned again to face Anna, who was now reading a book on the edge of the bed. And
this is Will gonna die? I'm already fucking all the way in on this one. I'm feeling bad for Will, but we don't know if Will's a bad guy yet either. One of these two is a bad guy.
Who was terrified at this point, took a deep breath and then reached into his pocket and pulled out a jewelry box. Inside of it was a beautiful emerald ring that was situated on a white gold band. And so Will took a step towards Anna, he dropped down to a knee and he held out the jewelry box and he opened it up. At first, Anna didn't know what Will was doing and was kind of confused, but when she saw the ring and saw him on his knee, she knew what was happening, and she began trembling with excitement. And then Will, he pulled the ring out of its holder, and he slipped it onto Anna's finger, and he asked her if she would marry him. And Anna, she began crying tears of joy and shouted, yes. Later that day, Anna would fly back home to Russia, but as soon as she landed, she began getting her affairs in order to go right back to Oregon to live with Will permanently. And 2 months later, in March of 2017, Anna was touching back down at the Oregon airport, and then right near the baggage claim, she had her big reunion with Will. That evening, when Anna and Will drove from the airport to Will's place, They parked the car, they got out, they grabbed Anna's luggage, they went up the front steps, and when Will unlocked the front door to go inside of the house to make their way up to his bedroom apartment, as soon as the door swung open, there was a woman standing in the doorway with her arms crossed, staring out at both of them.
What?
This woman was 34-year-old Michelle Chavez, and she and her husband were the married couple who rented the bedroom apartment to Will. Michelle had dark hair and piercing eyes, and...
Is Michelle going to be the bad person? I mean, is this a real photo? It says credit, Benton County Sheriff's Office. You can't see that because of my little guy right here. Let's move this out of your way. I want you to be able to see it. Let's put my banner over here. For at least for now. I'm going to make it smaller too. I have a feeling. All right. Can you see that? Credit photo. Okay. Real photo of Michelle Chavez. Credit, Benton County Sheriff's Office. I've got a feeling she's the bad guy.
When she was being pleasant, she could be very intimidating. And right now, it was obvious she was not trying to be pleasant. And so Anna, who sensed something was wrong here, kind of awkwardly said hi to Michelle. But Michelle, she just glared at Anna and said nothing, and then looked from Anna to Will and said, "Will, I need to talk to you." And then before Will could say anything, Michelle grabbed his arm and began dragging him through the house to the back. And as Will is kind of stumbling along after Michelle, he tried to be calm and told Anna, "Just go ahead and take your stuff up to the room. I'll be up there in a minute." And so Anna, she's very confused about what's happening here. She does not understand this dynamic at all, but she began taking her suitcases and marching over to the side of the house where Will's bedroom was. And as she did this, she could hear on the other side of the house, Michelle really yelling at Will, but Anna couldn't make out what Michelle was actually saying. And so at some point, when Anna was now inside of Will's bedroom, just kind of waiting, Will finally did come into the bedroom with his head hung down low.
Oh, Will.
And Anna could just tell that, obviously he's just been yelled at. He looks defeated. And so Anna's trying to make eye contact with him. And finally, Will looks up at Anna and Anna says, "Hey, what's going on? Why was she so upset? What's happening here?" And in a quiet, trembling voice, Will would tell Anna that Michelle and her husband had just told him that they can't live here anymore.
Oh, you bitch.
Anna couldn't believe this. She had just flown across the world to be here with Will, and now they don't have a place to live. But she could tell, obviously.
Can this dude tell a story, or can this dude tell a story? Seriously, that's why I love the content, right? I like doing reacts to his stuff because I'm along on the ride with you on the journey. We're doing it together. Now, I know there's people say, "Oh, you're stealing his content." No. I always give him credit and promote. Not like he needs fucking credit from my little ass. This dude's huge. But I love going on this little ride, little magic carpet ride with you guys. Just as much as you do.
Will is really upset about this too, and so instead of just being mad at him, she said, "What's going on? Why is she kicking us out?" And at first, Will kind of acted like he didn't really know, but then eventually, when Anna kept asking for more information, he would tell her that Michelle sort of had a crush on him.
What?
And when she saw Anna moving in with Will, she became really jealous and told them to leave. When Anna brought up the fact that Michelle was married,
right?
Will said, "I know, she's married, the crush hasn't gone anywhere, but she still feels really jealous." Anna was obviously really upset about this situation, but after Will had explained what's going on with Michelle, Anna wasn't mad at Michelle. She actually felt kind of bad for her.
Oh,
it was
Anna's
sort of
a nice
pathetic
person.
that this married woman was acting the way she was. And so Anna actually figured that really this is probably for the best, that we should get away from Michelle.
Anna's
and within
smart.
a few days, Anna and Will had moved out of Michelle's place and found a place of their own in a neighboring town. And as soon as they were settled inside of there, it was like relief washed over both of them.
Nice.
And they both
Look at
became
his
really
cutie
excited
guys.
to plan their wedding and
Look at
think
him.
about their future together.
Somebody gonna die though. Somebody gonna die.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. When I was younger, mental health was not really a topic that got talked about out in the open. It wasn't
I'm gonna
taboo,
let this ad run,
but
guys.
it
I'm a
certainly
big fan
wasn't
of
as
mental health,
mainstream as it is today. And that's
Since I'm
great that
stealing
it's
his
mainstream.
content, let's
We
let him
want
have a little
society
bit of,
to see that mental health care
Let's
is
let him run
a
this
part
commercial.
of our overall health. But No matter how mainstream mental health care becomes, I can tell you from my own personal experience with depression that going from hiding your feelings or ignoring your feelings to actually taking action and seeking out help can feel impossible. It doesn't matter how many times society and family and friends tell you that you should take care of your mental health. Ultimately, it will always come down to you and whether or not you feel comfortable and have the courage to seek out help. For what it's worth, after I sought out help for the first time, all that fear and anxiety around the act of getting help was replaced with relief. It felt like I was taking care of myself.
Same.
Obviously, help can come in many shapes and sizes, and one size does not fit all. But if you're someone who's struggling right now and you're not taking action to fix that, I would highly encourage you to get therapy through BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a highly reviewed online therapy platform, which means you can get the help you need from the comfort of your own home. Get matched with a BetterHelp therapist after filling out a brief survey, and then it's up to you how you communicate with your therapist, whether that's video call, phone call, text message,
Maybe I
or
should have
chat.
got rid of this.
Also, you can switch therapists at any time for free. Get
All right.
10% off your
Let's
first
get back
month
to the story,
at
dude. Everybody go get help.
BetterHelp.com/Mr.
Go
Baller.
get help for
I've
all
also
your
linked them in the
depression and
description
your
below.
PTSD and all
Okay,
that.
back to
Go
the
get
story.
help. Back to the story.
A few weeks later, on March 25th, 2017, Anna woke up early and put on her beautiful, simple white wedding dress that she brought from Russia, and then she and Will piled into his car and they headed to the beach. The couple had decided to go with a very simple, intimate outdoor wedding ceremony led by an officiant. An officiant is someone who can legally conduct a wedding. When the couple arrived at the beach...
Hey, check this out. Remember when I said that later I'm going to have dinner with some friends? It's their friends, but actually they asked me to be the officiant at their wedding coming up in June. And I've never done that before, but so we're gonna go. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm deeply honored, and I'm deeply honored to be asked to do that. So I gotta go get a little reverend license thing, I think, and then we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about what they want their ceremony to look like, so I can build something, you know, kind of proper and nice for the wedding. So I'm really looking forward to that, guys. Anyways, a little self-indulgent pause.
Anna hopped out and immediately began walking over the sand towards the water, and Will stayed back to call the officiant because he didn't see him anywhere. And so when Anna reached the water, she took in the beautiful sights and sounds of the beach. She felt the sun on her face and she listened to the sound of the waves crashing. And it was like suddenly she realized how lucky she was. I mean, this wedding day was turning out to be perfect when over the past couple of weeks, she wasn't sure if it was even going to happen. Even though Anna and Will had left Michelle's house and had no contact with her, over the past couple of weeks, Michelle had become a sort of thorn in their side, sending Anna all these really threatening messages, things like demanding that Anna share Will with her, or else she'll do something awful. And so Anna is thinking that Michelle is going to find a way to sabotage their wedding, but here they were on the beach about to get married with no Michelle in sight. And so at some point, Anna looked along the beach and saw a little bit farther along were the two friends that she and Will had invited to be a part of their wedding. And so Anna ran over to them and she hugged them and began chatting with them. And as she's chatting, she looks up and she sees Will coming down onto the beach and he's on his cell phone. And Anna can't tell what he's saying. He's too far away, but it's obvious there's something wrong. And by the time Will actually got up to the group, he had hung up his phone, but it was very obvious he was really upset. And as soon as he reached the group, he would announce to Anna and their friends that the officiant was not going to be able to make it. And so unfortunately, the wedding was off, at least for now. Now, Anna was totally crying.
Do we think that Will and Michelle were fucking around? Do you think that we haven't got to that part of the story that they were fucking around? And I'm feeling that vibe. Are you guys feeling that vibe? I feel like that's the tea that's going to get spilt there.
By this, but she could tell Will also was totally crushed by this. And so instead of crying and making Will feel worse, Anna put on a brave face and told Will, "Don't worry about it. We will find another officiant. We'll reschedule this. It will be fine." And so Anna and Will's friends, they said bye and they headed their way. And Anna and Will had a very somber walk along the beach back to their car. But on the drive from the beach back to their apartment, they would stop at a fast food restaurant, McDonald's, and they would get some food. And by the time they had made it back to their apartment, they were laughing about how ridiculous it was that they were eating fast food in their wedding clothes. A couple weeks later, Anna was still in the process of rescheduling their wedding, and she was starting to feel very frustrated with Will. Over the last week or so, Will, instead of helping her with the wedding, was spending much of his time outside of the apartment, pacing around, chain smoking, while talking to someone on
That's
the phone.
not a good sign,
Now,
Anna.
Anna didn't know who he was talking to, but based on how stressed out he seemed, Anna assumed he had to be talking to either Michelle or talking to someone else about Michelle. Regardless, Anna knew this had to, in some way, be connected to Michelle. However, whenever Anna would approach Will and ask him why he was so stressed and whether or not he was still in contact with Michelle, Will would try to change the subject, or he would just clam up and not talk at all. But finally, on April 16th, so 3 weeks after the couple's first failed wedding attempt, Will would approach Anna and ask her very sheepishly if she would come with him on a walk through the woods, because he had something important he wanted to tell her.
Like hitting her
Now,
with a
Anna
fucking
knew
brick.
that Will loved walking in these woods. He still went off and daydreamed after his movies, and so she knew that if he's asking her to go out there to talk, that this was going to be a very serious conversation, most likely about Michelle and whatever's going on. And so the couple piled into Will's car and they drove to the parking lot right near the woods. They got out, they hopped on a path, and they began walking into the trees. And for a while, they didn't really talk to each other. They just walked quietly side by side through the
And
woods.
Anna's patient.
But at some point, Will began to slow down.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if this shit was going on in my life, my old lady would have solved the fucking mystery in about 7 seconds. She would have beat Michelle's ass, and she would have beat the ass of Michelle's husband. She probably would have beat my ass. Like, I don't know. This Anna chick is way too patient. I'm not used to people like that in my life. There's no fucking way I'm getting away with those kind of shenanigans over here in the Ham Nation. Impossible.
And then finally came to a full stop, at which point Anna stopped too, and she turned to face him. And when she did, Will paused for a moment, and then with a shaky voice, told Anna that he felt like they rushed into their relationship and he wanted to call off the engagement.
That
Anna
lady
was
came
so
from
caught off
across
guard
the
and heartbroken
ocean,
by
bro.
what she was hearing that she couldn't say anything. She just stood there in stunned silence and then finally just turned around and stormed off away from Will, deeper into the woods until she was out of Will's sight. The next day, when Will woke up, the first thing he did was pick up his phone and text Anna. But Anna didn't write back. And so as Will is laying in bed, he couldn't help but feel this overwhelming sense of regret about the decision he had made the day before. He wanted Anna back. So over the course of the next several hours, Will would send Anna a series of increasingly more desperate sounding text messages, pleading with her to
Crazy
just
texting.
talk to him, please. But she didn't respond to any of his messages. And so Will decided that the only way he could get Anna back would be if he did something big. So he hopped out of his bed, he grabbed his cigarettes, he went outside, and he began pacing and chain smoking, trying to come up with whatever big idea was going to get Anna back. And it's
Dude, I hope we don't find out that Will ended up wearing Anna's face as a fucking mask. I'm not looking for, I don't want that.
point, an idea came to him. He would do what he had seen heroes do in several of his favorite science fiction and fantasy movies.
Oh no.
He would use time travel to go back in time and
What
get
the
Anna
fuck?
back. Feeling totally energized by this idea, Will ran back inside his apartment, he grabbed another pack of cigarettes, a 6-pack of soda, and then he sat down at his computer and he scoured the internet for any information about how to build a time-traveling machine. And for the next 24 to 48 hours, Will stayed at his computer, chain-smoking and drinking sodas, drawing all these sketches of different time machine designs that he found on the internet. But at some point, after 24 to 48 hours, Will realized that no matter how good these sketches were, he lacked 1, the resources, and 2, the knowledge and expertise of how to take this sketch and actually make it into a real physical time machine.
I think it was the fact that he lacked the resources. Otherwise, he would have nailed that time machine. No question. I mean, he had the heart, right? He had the heart to do it. You know, Will, if you just maybe tried a little harder, you could have done it. But I feel bad for you, buddy.
So feeling totally frustrated, Will took a sketchbook and threw it, and then lay down on his bed, feeling somewhat defeated. But as he laid there thinking about Anna, he had another epiphany. In other science fiction and fantasy movies, sometimes the heroes didn't need to use time machines to go back in time, they would use magic. And so suddenly Will decided, oh my goodness, I need to find the right magical spell that will allow me to travel back in time and get Anna. And so once again, he ran back to his computer, continued chain smoking and drinking sodas while scouring the internet looking for the right magical spell that would take him back in time. And several times he communicated with strangers on the internet.
Where are you from? The United States. Okay, tell me the problem. April 16th, my best friend made a mistake. I want to go back and stop this situation from arising. Okay. I think there's no coincidence that the big ad in the middle of this story was for seeking mental health, Mr. Ballin. I think that maybe you did that to us on purpose.
One night in 1946, a Brazilian farmer was walking along this dirt path when suddenly he started feeling like he was being watched. And so he looked to his right and to his left into the trees.
Oh my God, I just fucked this up. That's awesome.
Of the rainforest on either side of him, but he couldn't see any.
I just fucked this up. That's amazing. We can go back to it. We'll go back to it, right? We're going to finish up. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. History. We'll go back to Time Traveler guy.
On the internet, telling them that he would sell his soul to them if they could give him the right spell. And then anytime he thought he found the right spell, he would close his eyes and chant the words out loud, and then open his eyes only to realize he was stuck in the present. And so finally, after basically staying awake for 72 hours on this quest to go back in time to get Anna back, Will realized that it was not going to work, and so he gave up. The next morning,
what about
on
the
April
meth?
19th, so this is 3 days after he broke up with Anna in the woods, Will heard a knock on his front door. And when he opened the door, there were 2 police officers standing there. And when Will asked them, what's going on, they told him that they actually needed his help, and would he mind coming to the station to talk to them. And so Will, he was still totally exhausted from not having slept over the last 3 days,
talk to the police.
But he, of course, agreed to go.
And
when he got to the police station, he was led into a small interview room, and he sat down behind this metal desk in front of the other 2 officers, and he asked them, what can I do for you? And one of the officers eventually asked Will if he had recently eaten at a Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant. That's a fast food restaurant also known as KFC. Will was puzzled and almost wanted to laugh because he couldn't understand how this was important. But when he saw that these 2 officers were not making light of this at all, they were very serious,
I'm all in
Will
right
said,
now.
yeah, a few days ago I did eat at a KFC. Why does that matter? To understand why it mattered, we need to understand the relationship between Will and Michelle. It would turn out Michelle did not just have a crush on Will. Michelle and Will had been having an intense affair right in Michelle's house with her husband since 2015, so a full year before Will met Anna. Now, Will had wanted Michelle to leave her husband and be with him, and Michelle had told Will that she wanted the same thing, but she couldn't do it right now. And so to show Will that she was serious, that one day she would be with him, she gave him her wedding ring, which was an emerald stone sitting on a white gold band. It was like a promise ring, that this is my token to you to show you that one day we will be together in public. But as time went on, Michelle didn't really show any signs of trying to leave her husband, and so Will started to wonder if he was just kind of letting his life slip by. Because remember, Will really wanted a wife and kids, and it was starting to look like Michelle was not going to give him either of those things. And so that was why Will went on that dating site and contacted Anna, and then when he learned that Anna wanted a family too, he had asked her to marry him.
Damn,
the ring
Will,
that Will
you
gave
naughty.
Anna when he proposed to her was the same ring that Michelle had given Will. Her wedding ring, the promise ring. And so when Michelle saw that ring on Anna's finger on a Facebook post that Anna made about having been proposed to by Will, Michelle was enraged.
Oh, yeah.
And then just a few weeks later, when Anna showed up at Michelle's house to move into Will's bedroom with him, she grabbed Will, dragged him to the side of the house, and said, "You need to choose right now between me and Anna." And because Will couldn't come up with an answer, Michelle kicked him and Anna out of the house. However, over the following weeks, despite Michelle having booted them from her property, she could not let go of her jealousy of Anna and her love for Will. And so she sent Anna all these threatening messages on Facebook demanding that she share Will with her or else. And she began incessantly calling and texting Will, demanding that he choose her over Anna. And so when Anna saw Will walking around outside chain-smoking cigarettes on the phone, Anna was right in suspecting that that was Michelle that he was talking to. But despite all this pressure, Will just could not make up his mind. He didn't know which woman he wanted to be with more. And so to buy himself some time, he had lied to Anna about hiring an officiant for their wedding on the beach. And then when they arrived on the beach and Will said the officiant had canceled, it was all a ruse. There was never any officiant. He was just trying to buy time for himself. But finally, on April 16th, for whatever reason, Will had decided that he knew which woman he wanted to go with. He wanted to go with Michelle. So he brought Anna out into the woods and he told her the news that he was breaking off the engagement and effectively their relationship was over, at which point Anna turned and stormed off into the woods. And so Will, he watched her disappear and then he turned around and walked back along the path back toward his car. And when he got there, he opened his trunk and got something out of it. And then he walked back along the trail into the woods where he had seen Anna last. And when he reached that spot, he kind of walked off in the direction that Anna had wandered, and eventually he spotted Anna. She was standing in a clearing, looking up into the sky, seemingly lost in thought. And so Will quietly walked up right behind her, and then he raised the shotgun he had gotten out of his trunk. He placed the barrel against the back of Anna's skull, and before she could even react, say something, turn around, do anything, he pulled the trigger. Afterward, he ran back down the trail to his car and he gathered up all of Anna's things that happened to be inside of the car, along with some trash on the floor of the car. And then he brought all of that stuff back into the woods and kind of dumped it both on and around Anna's body. The next day, a walker and their dog happened to come across Anna's body. And when the police were called out to the site, they began sifting through all of the trash that was kind of scattered around Anna's body. And inside of a crumpled up KFC bag, the police would find a receipt for the day of the murder. And that receipt belonged to Will. The morning after Will killed Anna, he sent those initial text messages to Anna just to cover his tracks. But as he sent them, he actually did feel an enormous sense of regret about the decision he made. He no longer wanted Michelle, he wanted Anna. And it was at that point that he decided he would do what the heroes in some of his favorite movies did. He would go back in time and undo the murder and get his love back. But of course, his efforts would fail. And in January of 2020, 3 years after Anna's murder, Will was sentenced to life in prison. As for Michelle, she was never charged with any crime.
Fuck you, Will.
So that's going to do it. If you got something out of today's episode and
I got something out of today's episode. I got heartburn out of that, man. We knew that was coming too, right? Like we saw that coming. I look at Kamala sleeping right there. She's such a cuto. We saw that coming, Mr. Ballin. We didn't want to believe it, but we saw it coming. He does such a good job. I really appreciate him. And so we're gonna explore his content from time to time. All right. I think that's all I got of me today. I got other shit I got to do, like grow more facial hair and more hair on the top of my head. That's all I got in me, guys. So I'm going to call it for the day. I'm going to try and stream twice next week. I'll definitely stream on Saturday next week, but I'll try and stream. Maybe I can't do Tuesday night, maybe Wednesday night. We'll see. see if I can come up with some content, something we want to do. But in the meantime, if you celebrate Easter, I don't really celebrate. We're going to do something at my mother-in-law's house, but we don't really celebrate Easter in a traditional Easter sense. But if you do, I want to wish you a very happy Easter. If you don't, I want to wish you a very happy weekend. Let you know that I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate you coming by and saying hi, eat a bag of dicks. I love you for stopping in. That was great, and I really appreciate it, and I hope you come back. And with that, namaste, be well, and now please enjoy Kamala and River.